America and to our friends around the world, greetings, welcome back. As you can see, the chickens are awake and active and hogging the camera. Anyway, they just got their breakfast and their morning water. I woke up to the food silo being knocked off the mezzanine. The water can, a desert. So fortunately, they had a full reservoir of water before going to bed. But somewhere during the night, they decided to drink it all, which is great, because I prefer them to drink it all than topple it over and have it just soak into that pellet stuff that they walk all over. So recently I uploaded the video that demonstrated Synthesia and the Quinn AI video production. As I was playing it back, I realized that the audio wasn't picking up as well as I had wanted for in-room, for the for my voice, for things that I wanted to be heard, such as background noises that I was making commentary and audio editorials on some of the subject matter. My apologies for that. I didn't realize that the chicken's camera microphone was defaulted as the primary, and that even though it's only 2 feet away from me, that its input wasn't, it wasn't doing its thing. So, anyway, I'm going to try to incorporate the audio track with Audacity, with the video of the chickens, and we'll use the Audacity track, and then what I'll do is I'll probably just re-record it over top. Take the raw footage through DLC, and then have it re-incorporated with the DLC and Audacity playback, and see how that works. Because that's how we do things. Slipshod, free, trial and error. So there really hasn't been much that's been happening news, with the news and the commentary that I've wanted to express an opinion on it. I've been thoroughly disgusted with people's behaviors. And chief among them is I'm going to default to my friends in the government. Okay, Charlie Kirk, you're a sellout. Alright, so James O'Keefe says, OMG and formerly Project Veritas. My price is my life. Alright. If that's true, then are you going to disassociate, Mr. O'Keefe? Are you going to distance yourself from these clowns such as Tim Pool and Charlie Kirk, who are saying, it's the economy, stupid. People don't care about that kind of trafficking. It's the economy. They care about how they're going to buy their butter and their bread. I'm not going to make fun of Tim Pool. I followed him for 10 years. I am going to strongly disagree with him on this, and I'm not going to even come close to trying to mock his speaking style, but I am going to call it out and say directly that, yes, prosecuting these criminals that are involved. All right, let's take a look at this thing. You've got the Epstein, situation. Nobody's been prosecuted. There's been no effort to prosecute anyone involved. The various banks that allowed the money laundering knowingly are the same banks that make you fill out forms. And I've detailed this in the past. I've worked in banking. I've filled these reports out since the mid-90s. It's called a large currency transaction report. It's not even for large currency transactions, meaning $3,000 or more. From what I've been told, it's changed since then. When somebody comes to the bank and they want to make a deposit and or withdrawal of cash of around $3,000, the computer will not let you proceed with the transaction without proceeding through the large currency transaction report documentation. It is integrated into the system. So for everybody says Jamie Dimon Chase is involved with this money laundering for Epstein. Well, there you go. Lock him up. He's got money to hire a lawyer. He can be the executive in a prison cell. If that is the case, tell me how come $600 on a Venmo or PayPal is being directed to the IRS for anything above that as a 1099, and then tell me how come a large currency transaction for a deposit of approximately $3,000 is auto-generating a large currency transaction report, but there is no accountability for hundreds of thousands of dollars or even millions of dollars when it comes to trafficking individuals. How come there's no prosecution? Is it worth losing the 2026 midterms? Absolutely. Because the Republicans are going to lose the 2026 midterms no matter what. You can't tell me that the mishandling of all of this, the big beautiful bill. No, we don't want a big beautiful bill. We want single bills introduced, voted on. What? You mean we actually have to work? Yeah, Brittany Peterson, you actually have to work. Imagine that. You can't Zoom, and you should be escorted by the sergeant at arms out if you're going to use your child as a prop. In fact, your child shouldn't even be there when you are working. It's a workplace, not a daycare. Tim Burchett and Luna, you should be ashamed of yourselves for co-sponsoring this stupid child as a prop. Using my child as a prop act. And Burchett should be ashamed of himself for only supporting the eradication of male monsters and not female monsters. It tells you that he's okay with betting a woman that abuses children. Tennessee, you got lots of stains on your hand, or hands. Well, I guess, unless you're Big Johnson, singular hand. But regardless, the point is, I'd rather focus on winning the 2026 midterms is not a valid argument. It's the economy, stupid, is not a valid argument. You're willing. Here's what isn't understood. The people that voted for President Trump to be in office and gave him the mandate of both the Electoral College, the popular vote, in addition to not only the House of Representatives, but also the Senate, was primarily due to promises made and promises broken on Epstein, JFK, RFK, and I will say that the 200,000 plus pages that are being reviewed is of merit, but it is part of a distraction in regards to Martin Luther King Jr. The upside is that was something he did promise that he would put out there, and it was done. The timing is to distract from Epstein, in addition to the memes about Obama and oh, they plotted it, they planned it, they orchestrated it, it's treason, no, it's sedition, it doesn't matter. Nobody's been charged. Nothing matters so long as you're just making memes and AI videos about the activity. It doesn't matter. It'll work on low IQ individuals, but it's not going to work on those that put you into office. And it's not going to work on this low IQ individual because I'm seeing it for what it is, a distraction tactic. And that's the reason I'm putting this out there. Mr. Poole, you gave great advice. Get chickens. Because at least with chickens, you can buy seed for, 25-pound bag is less than 20 bucks. 50-pound bag is less than 30 bucks. And those 2 bags will sufficiently last a month. You keep chickens taken care of, keep them happy, you're going to have, 1 egg per chicken, roughly. You're not going to go hungry. So as long as you can scrounge up by collecting bottles and taking them to the, Fred Meyer, Safeway, Albertsons, and getting the 10 cents per can, you're going to have enough money to buy chicken feed. And enough people throw it away on payday. All you have to do is pop over to Vancouver and hit all the dumpsters and look at all the alcoholics and all the amount of beers they throw away. And you'll find out rapidly how fast one can put together $20. You go to Bottle Drop, throw it in there, end of story. But the bottom line is this. Sometimes it requires sacrifice to get things done that need to be done. And even if our talking heads are sitting in their ivory towers saying, I don't want to feel uncomfortable, I don't want to go to these parties with my friends and saying, and have to be questioned why I'm being mean to them with words, that's on them. No matter what happens, the Republicans are losing the 2026 midterms. No matter what happens, they can be in denial all they want. We are in a depression, because the definition of a depression is, a recession is 2 quarters of, the 2 quarters that indicate no progress, right? No hirings, and I don't have my resources in front of me, and I'm not going to get up and grab my econ book to get the actual description. Because by the time I thumb through it, you all will have fallen asleep. But I will try to find the actual definition. But essentially, it's the 2 quarters of non-growth. Incorrect meaning, that way everybody in real time is educated. But a depression is when it exceeds that. And if you haven't recognized that this has been going on for more than 2 quarters, and you're a fool. But my neighbor works, and the old joke is that a recession is when your neighbor gets fired, a depression is when you get fired. Intel is losing upwards of 3,000 to 5,000 people out of Beaverton, Oregon. Nike apparently is finding significant layoffs, which is also Hillsboro, Beaverton, Oregon area. It's all on the west side of, you know, Portland in Washington County. And this is going to have a trickle-down effect. A trickle-down effect in the sense of what vendors are going to be impacted. Are there restaurants that depend on Intel and Nike for their, their economic viability, their health? Are there suppliers who deliver there that the routes are based upon? The logistics. As you can see, anything that is in that proximity is going to have, it's going to be a ripple. It's going to be a trickle down. It's going to be impacting, and it's going to, depending on how severe of a ripple, it may be just a pebble in a pond, or it could turn into a tsunami. And that was part of the reason I demonstrated with the free tools, Synthesia and Quinn, the AI production. I'm not saying that's going to be the solution. I'm just saying if people can do that for free with no training, no experience, within 2 hours, what are they going to be able to do with those $300 a month accounts? And you know what I'm talking about. It's not just these guys that have the money that can do it, whether it's the Go Rapix, the Sandman, Jim Pool, that have that kind of money to spend on $300 a month. I'm talking about Intel. If Intel is laying off 5,000 people, and all it takes is $300 a month to make cinematic, quality, animated, AI-generated videos and movies, what's the $1,000 a month plan? And don't tell me Intel or some other corporate entity or government agency doesn't have that ability. The government will do it at the barrel of a weapon, telling you that they don't want to get their hands dirty, so you put your hands in your pocket and take out the money and give it to them. Otherwise, the other hand's finger might slip and you may drop. That's how government makes its money, is by force and threat. And that right there should be the end of story for any argument supporting socialism, communism, fascism, is government control is by force and threat that will be carried out. Capitalism may not be the best solution, but it's better than that solution. Alright, so I wanted to show you all the chickens and let you look at their feathery development. Yesterday was, Feather Academy, chickens on patrol. I don't know what I'm going to call this one. I'm going to have to... Oh, here we go. Plucky Potter and the silo of, oh yeah, Plucky Jones and the silo of doom. All right. Everybody, good luck out there. Thank you for checking out the chickens. And don't be, whether it is technically, whether they call it one or not, a recession or depression, don't become discouraged. Use your use your surrounding area to network with like-minded individuals. Branch out, go to your local library, find out if they have any associations that meet there, and start attending. But I don't like quilting. I don't care. Find something. And then if they don't have something that you like, find out what it would take for you to provide something. My library allows, I believe it's $30 an hour for a 4-hour use of the room. And you can, they have a stove, they have a sink, they have a refrigerator, they have tables and chairs. It's a huge room. It's easily 400 square feet, enough to accommodate 20 plus people. And I've seen people that have attended. Oh, my guitar class was in one of those that I took that I've mentioned in the past. That I took 2.5 years ago. The historical society meets there frequently, and let me tell you, a lot of people say I don't like country. The anytime I've been to the library, there is no parking spaces available. There is standing room only when the historical society meets there. Maybe not every meeting, but enough that it's impressive. And I don't keep up with the events, the schedule, and I wasn't aware. But if I hadn't had a reason to be at the library for another activity, I would not have known about it. But if I had known about it, I probably would have attended just to find out what was up about it because that was amazing to me. I, I like history, and obviously my neighbors enjoy the local history also. So look into your library. If that doesn't work, check with your city hall, check with your chamber of commerce. My understanding is Chamber of Commerce, yes, is expensive to join, but I think it's free to attend their meetings. You just can't participate in decision making or group activities. I could be wrong, but what I'm trying to encourage is local networking where you can start finding out what resources are available to trade. Oh, I know how to do bicycle retire. Great, because if other people ride bicycles that aren't just drug addicts who've had their license, driver's license suspended, then there may be a market to provide for bicycle repair. If you're an auto mechanic, same thing. You know, maybe somebody's got a shop that has a bay, similar to the beauty salons, where you don't one person rents the building and then they sublease or whatever chairs, stations to to the independent operators to work out of that over the overall facility. Perhaps there's a mechanic auto shop that does something similar. The point is by going to these activities, these events, these opportunities to associate, it allows you to network, and you can do these things. In addition, you can do it at a pub house, a public house, a pub. I'm not a big fan of that because most of them are tipped over. And if somebody is doing their work that's tipped over, but I'm a functional tip over. No, no, you're not. Because if you were, it wouldn't have broken at the first or second time it was used. That's your fault. Yeah, that is my simple summary of dealing with somebody such as that. Is that they have anger management issues, they have inability to take accountability. I mean, people talk about women unable to take accountability. This is based upon the reality that alcoholics refuse to take responsibility. I know one in particular that justifies their abuse of the chemical stuff because It allows me to network. No, you're using that as an excuse to do it. So you can do it, but just be aware that there's a high rate of failure. There's a reason those individuals are there every night. It's because there is a high rate of failure. I'm not saying you can't have a drink here or there or anything along those lines. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying that the people that frequent a tavern, a public house, on a daily basis do so because they have nothing. They have no home, they have no family. Or, yeah, well, but Shirley does and Bob does. I've met them. Yeah, there's a reason they're at the pub or the tavern instead of at home or at their job. Not advanced physics here, ladies and gentlemen. Very basic level. It's Remember those puzzles you get a kid that have the fixed borders and the giant pieces, and it has maybe 8 pieces total? That's the level of putting it together, connecting things that in identifying people that you want to associate, meaning those that are successful and those that are just barely holding themselves above water. And certainly there is no doubt that one could be knocked down trying to get their footing underneath them. Decades ago, I bought a little mini pickup, and within a year of having it, I started having problems with the transmission. I saw an article about a local businessman who had problems with the permitting process, the licensing process, and all that. And I took pity on the guy, thinking, oh man, that sucks. You're trying to start your own business and get yourself up and going, and they got all these hurdles. No, the guy was just an idiot. He ended up destroying my truck, and it was junk. It took 6 months to get it back, maybe longer. After I got it back, it was junk within a year. Never worked right. It broke down constantly. Um, the point being is recognize the patterns of how people behave, who has the skills, and recognize that those that have the skills typically are a little bit more difficult to reach because they are busy, because they are just a little bit more arrogant and elevated in life because they know they have what it takes. But do recognize those that bluster and brag and use arrogance to snowball you, to use their industry knowledge to bully you. It can be tough. It can be daunting. I'm aware of that. That's part of the reason that I do what I do with educating everybody on social engineering, body language, as well as acquiring the additional skills that I've acquired so that I'm able to recognize these patterns, and then I can relate it to you so that you can too can be, oh, wait a minute, it's not me, it's this individual that is lying to me, and this is, here are the telltale markers that demonstrate. And you feel, puberty has hit 40 years too late. Uh, you can feel with a level of confidence that you can walk away from the situation and not have regrets. You don't have that FOMO, fear of missing out. Maybe I should have given them a second chance. No, there's a financial expression, an investing expression, throwing good money after that. All right, so this is getting up to 30 minutes. I'm going to leave it there. enjoy the chickens who have decided just to plant themselves right in front of the camera most of this time. Demand the release of this information and demand the prosecutions of those that have abused. And keep in mind this simple tenet. If they're going to track and report you for taking care of essentially cash payments of what is considered a normal mortgage payment nowadays, then hold them accountable for the actual criminal money laundering they perform. Bleach Blonde Bimbo needs to do her job, and Crazy Eye Cash needs to either go back to the subcontinent or do his job. There is no wiggle room. He may have worked for Devin Nunes in Profile Heavily in Amanda Milius' documentary a few years back, but I'm not going to reward incompetence with, you know, a blank check and a free pass. No. Deport him. Get the job done or deport him. Nobody's going to miss him. And the same thing with Bleach Blonde. Drop her into Bermuda. Nobody's going to miss her. Or get the job done. Yeah, Gabbard is doing well releasing this information, but it's a distraction. Keep the pressure up. And you be aware of when you're being manipulated. If you want success, you know, take your wins, but don't let them lie to you. To recognize a BS artist when they are behaving as such, and that is what's happening. All right, 32 minutes seems sufficient. Have a good day.